I mean, I guess, but I'm not playing on my main account, so I'm going to be super underpowered. If you want to help out, Warder, you certainly can. I want to do all the intro missions for the new players on the board so they can kind of walk through all the steps and whatnot. Yes, I'm aware, I just didn't want to blow up your spot. Although I guess Patches isn't your real name, so that's fine. It's a reflex to call people by their handle on this, you know?
For generations you've slept. No purpose, no call to wake you. But now, something has risen from the ruins of the old war.
I actually haven't seen this intro cinematic in a really long time, so... I think it's gotta be Volt, right? Like, I would have said Mag, but I think Volt's pretty interesting with his rework. I think I'm gonna be a Volt boy this time. Throwing shade at my boy Volt already. You just got here. It's a little bit weird that the Grenier are speaking in their own language in this cutscene, and they speak English every other time. I don't know what's going on with that. Yes, lightning is fun. Especially when you bank it off of walls. Ooh, the Excalibur players are going to come after you, man. Four picks up some of the strangest stuff at Home Improvement. Alright, so for newer players and not my two hecklers in the peanut gallery here, you get three choices for Warframes, which are your playable characters, right off the bat. So you have Excalibur, who's kind of, I don't want to say generic, because he's good, but he's kind of generic main character lad. Uses a sword, well balanced, takes a beating pretty well. He's a good choice. Mag is, if you've ever wanted to have a Warframe that's essentially got the same powers as Magneto from the X-Men, she's your gal. Does a lot of kind of like force pushing, force pulling, lifting people up to the air and then crushing them into a ball. She's got some real cool powers. She's kind of a caster class, so she does not take a hit very well, but she can dish out some damage. And then Volt is, true to his name, the electric dude, so he can shoot lightning, chain lightning, make electric shields, buff his speed. He's probably your utility class of the three that are presented here. So I'm going to go with him because he's got an interesting power set to me.
Wake up, Tenno.
I see the Lotus has tried to wake you. Pity she's too late. You're my prize now.
Put you on house arrest because they put you in that cocoon for a DUI earlier. That's what it was.
We are taking this one with us.
What has he done to you? I can't lose another Tenno. I am surging your Warframe's power system. Quick, use your power. Defend yourself.
Oh my god. Non-inverted controls, why?
Use your power now.
I know how to use powers. Come on. I know. As soon as I can, I need to change my controls because I can't do this. I can't aim. I can't move. I'm so bad. There we go.
An extraction ship is on its way, but the Grineer will be hunting you. Arm yourself.
Okay. Good lord. I know this is super fascinating, streaming and everything like that. What am I looking for? What am I looking for? Here we go. Let's see. Yeah, me neither. I don't look at it often, and it always throws people off because I try and describe what buttons you have to press to do stuff, and I don't use standard controls, so it screws with people. They're like, yeah, you just press circle to dodge, and you're like, no, that's not what that does. Yeah, but ability refers to your your powers. So I'm gonna have it mapped to R2, but is typically R1. Alright. Much better. Much, much better. Oh my god. Okay. So as you're moving through this thing, it kind of shows overlay text for your different movement commands. X is jump by default. It's going to make you choose a melee weapon, so you get two choices, Skana, and you have a bow. Both of these are valid choices. I like the bow personally, so that's what I'm going to go with. It hits a little bit harder, has more range, but it's a little bit slower. All melee weapons come with kind of a standard 1 to 3 hit combo, and you can do things like combine some of your movement controls with it, where like I can do a slide and do a spin attack to go along with it, or I can hold it down and charge things. And yes, you can deflect bullets with your melee weapon as well. Come on, shoot me! He's got really bad aim. Oh, I went the wrong way. Alright, so we've got our second gear choice here. This is going to be our secondary weapon. So you have a Leto, which is a standard semi-automatic pistol, or you can get some kunai, which are throwing knives. The kunai do a little bit less damage, but they're silent, and I actually like throwing knives, so I'm going to go with that.
Good. The extraction point is up ahead. Hurry before more finds
They do less damage, but more than enough to kill these mooks. You can switch between these weapons at any time using triangle. Ammo is pretty generous in this game, so you don't really have to worry about conserving it for most weapons.
Take what you can.
Oh, hey.
Acquire resources to build yourself into a diverse and effective warrior.
She's not joking. Resource gathering is a big part of what you do in this game for crafting. It's really depressing that it takes more than one hit to break one of these resource nodes.
made it. There's the extraction ship.
Which looks really janky in the cutscene. Oh, shit.
You're not ready to face war now. Use
Says
your
you.
weapon to block the beam and get inside.
I offer you glory, and you use this? My decrepit heart is pounding. This one is stronger than the rest. Lock the area down. This tender is mine.
Quick, get to the console and release the lockdown. Do that, and I will guide you to your old ship. It's your only chance.
The Queen wants to destroy you, but I need to know more.
Get out of there, Tenno. You will have to face war another time, when you're fully restored.
Grineer, my sons, prepare the reinforcements. We need that Tenno.
Shout out to my buddy Garrett, who is currently spreading the word amongst various channels. I was a little bit late doing the stream, so I didn't want to belabor it any more than that. Lest people think that I forgot.
A Tenno flows like fire over the battle terrain. Do you remember how to dash across walls?
I do, Lotus, now that you mention it. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, you get a jump, double jump, and if you do a jump near a wall, you can do kind of a kick off the wall in a direction kind of thing. A big part of what makes this game kind of fun is the mobility options, and you can combine them in a lot of interesting ways too. Alright, so third weapon choice, my primary. So you have the Mark 1 Bratton, which is kind of just a dumb assault rifle sort of thing. It's not dumb. It's a perfectly valid choice. I just think it's a little too Call of Duty for my taste. And then you have the Mark 1 Paris, which is a bow and arrow, so fires a lot slower, does a lot more damage, and is still silent, like the throwing knives. So, since we're doing the theme here, I think I'll go with the Mark 1 Paris. And this guy doesn't know that I'm here. Now he does, because I took too long to sneak up on him.
Your ship is up ahead.
Bow and arrows have to be charged before you can fire them, but they do a lot of damage, so... Yes, Patches makes an excellent point. The ragdoll physics on the bow and arrow are pretty ace. So now it's finally telling me how to switch weapons, which I've been doing. But there it is.
There it is, your ship. Hurry. War's reinforcements must be on their way.
Wonder if I can get them from over here. Probably not. Oh, that fires a lot straighter than I thought it would. Got him.
Disarm the ship. You'll have to bypass the security on that panel.
Yeah, if you sneak up on people, you can do stealth kills too, which is a very effective way to take people out. Warframe! You came to the right place, my friend. I'd like to point out the irony here that, like, I'm doing a Warframe stream for beginning players, and the 3 people that are currently watching are, like, the 3 most experienced players that I know.
The operator is in danger?
What are you doing, guys? Y'all already know how to play this game. I'm kidding. I appreciate that you're here.
Enemy sensors.
Tenno, are you afraid? You cannot hide from these old eyes. I've marked you. You will return to me.
You say that. That was a good chain lightning.
Tenno, the ship is ready. It's time to leave.
Yeah, that's true. You make a good point. You could be playing Destiny 2, but instead you're spending time with this guy. I appreciate it. And we make our escape. That's the first mission of the game right there. So now we're introduced to our orbiter here, and they're going to dump a little bit of plot on us here.
A shadow of my former self. I cannot serve the operator in such a condition. Order me to self-destruct. I will understand.
The Grineer are ravenous for this old technology. It is superior to theirs. Perhaps there are systems left in the orbiter compartment?
So the orbiter is kind of your main base of operation. It's where you're going to go in between missions and whatnot.
The lower orbiter compartments have no life support. Why did the operator abandon me?
And
Personal management could be restored if the operator wishes it.
from the get, a lot of the functions are kind of locked out. So like the orbiter is going to get upgraded as you go through the game. You're going to add new functions to it, most of which fairly early. And so the first couple of missions are kind of about unlocking new stuff and things like that. First and foremost, the arsenal that they're directing me to right here. I'm going to get this up and going.
You honor Ordis. Now I can supply the operator with better modified firepower. Oh, the violation. Those have been looted as well.
We need to figure out what Captain Vor has done to you and stop him. But we'll need help. I found a communication segment we might salvage for your ship. When you are ready, activate your navigation system.
So the arsenal is kind of your equip screen for the game. It is where you're going to switch out weapons and warframes, modify your companions' stats, even stuff like your emotes and things of that nature go through this. There's a lot to this menu, obviously. I'm not really going to get into it at the moment, but this is kind of where you do to gear yourself up in between missions. I don't really have anything to do, though, so I'm just going to move on to the next mission. And I might turn off region chat because it's really distracting and annoying. Let's just go ahead and, yeah. Profanity filter, I don't need that. Alright, so when I interact with the navigation segment at the front of my ship, it's going to bring me to my kind of world map. It immediately goes to the planet that I was just on, which is Earth, but if I take a step back, you can kind of see the whole map, and it's the actual solar system, with a couple of additions. You will eventually get to go to all of these places, but you start out on Earth, so that's where we're at right now. And you can see that a lot of these sectors are locked right now. The one that we have unlocked is going to kind of pulse at us here. And if you look at the world map, or the actual planet map, I guess, you have dotted lines that kind of show you where the different missions go and where they lead. So I can kind of see my path that's laid out in front of me. Like, I'm here. If I beat this mission, I can go to this one. If I beat that one, I can go to this one, so on and so forth. And if I go all the way up here, I get to go to Mars. But we'll get there. First off, restore ship comms. It's worth mentioning that these first couple of missions are single player only. You don't get to do any co-op here, but they are scaled accordingly, so you shouldn't really need any assistance with it. The game doesn't really do anything to signal that, though, so if you're trying to join up with a buddy, it can be kind of frustrating. And yes, Jason, Ordis is being very melodramatic. I forgot about how emo he is in the front segments.
The segment you need is in a nearby data vault. Infiltrate the vault and retrieve the segment.
The big difference for me is that I can archive videos on YouTube. I can't figure out how to do it on Twitch. Maybe it's because I'm dumb, I don't know. But, that was part of the reason why I was a couple minutes late starting the stream. I was trying to figure out if I could archive it on Twitch on PlayStation 4, and I don't know that if I can. Yeah, that's true. Is it too late for me to tell him to self-destruct?
A variety of security measures. How you defeat those measures is up to you.
So I'm going to, you've probably seen me do it already if you're new to this game, but you've seen me combine some of the movement tools they've already taught me. So I know how to jump, double jump, slide under obstacles. There's one thing that they don't teach you how to do, which is a real bummer, which is this move right here, the bullet jump, which I don't know why they don't tutorialize that, because it's really, really fun to do, and it is done by pressing your dodge button and your jump button at the same time, which would be L1 and X on a standard control format. And it's kind of an omnidirectional jump, like you can go anywhere with it. You can double jump after it, slide out of it, even do a dodge roll in midair. A big part of moving around in this game is figuring out how to combine those tools. Also, I apologize to everyone who is watching the stream. I am a terrible shot. Yes, bullet jumping is essentially required, and for some reason the game doesn't tell you how to do it, which I find very frustrating. Alright, so we're at our kind of target here. The little hacking mini game to get through, which is just timing based. It's super easy. I have to try and get in unnoticed. Luckily there aren't any enemies. I just have to not run into that giant glowing energy wall. Easy enough. Let's see, the vault's down here. I can get around. This floor is electrified though. I can see by the way that it's glowing. So I gotta use some of those mobility tools to get around it. I think I'm gonna use a little bit of wall run here. And there's a dude. Get dead. Alright, so I managed to get into that vault undetected, so I got some bonus EXP and better prizes for completing this mission too, which is cool. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of dudes here. Lightning time. So y'all might have seen whenever I completed the hack on that vault that I got to level up. Levels work in a weird way in this game. They don't always improve your stats right off the bat. We'll get to that later. Using your melee weapon to deflect incoming bullets is a good defensive strategy early in the game. You still take a little bit of damage, but less than if you're just running at them. Where'd he go? think I'm pretty much in the clear here. So on our mission complete screen, it shows all the EXP that we got, prizes that we pick up over here in the left pane. The middle pane shows some of the items that we picked up as well, kind of equipable stuff. So I guess whenever we get back to the ship, we'll talk about mods and leveling, how all that works.
Orbiter Void Cloak engaging. Welcome back, Operator. The operator has recovered a segment. Install it now.
Yay, broken serration, everyone's favorite. It's so good.
Communications online. I must analyze what Vor's Ascaris is doing to your Warframe.
Oh,
This
fine.
technology is beyond the Grenier. It must be Corpus in origin.
Systems engaging. I suppose this will do. Ordis is grateful.
So with your communications here, you gain access to the marketplace.
Now contact all black market scumbags. Contact arms dealers.
Excellent idea, Ordis. Tenno, we need to make contact with a Corpus defector sympathetic to the Tenno cause. They will, of course, require compensation.
Everyone's in it for themselves.
Operator?
In this case, compensation will not be credits. It will be freedom. I've updated navigation. You will need to break him out of a Grenier gulag.
So, the marketplace that we just kind of gained access to, this is where you're going to get a lot of your gear, especially early in the game. There's a lot to it. It's a very busy interface, like a lot of the stuff in this game. But if you go on here, it shows kind of the highlighted items that are up right now. The market has everything in there. It's got skins for your characters, new weapons, even new warframes, some of which can be acquired with in-game currency, and some of which, yes, does have to be purchased with real-world money. This is a point that confuses newer players a lot because, of course, the store is trying to kind of push you into purchasing stuff using platinum, which is the real-world money currency. But the truth of the matter is that, like, a lot of the stuff can be gotten without that. So I'll give you an example. In the top left-hand corner, you see a little triangle button next to home. It means I can open up this menu and I can see the different categories of things. We've got home, warframes, weapons, equipment, companions, bundles, and then it starts getting into some of the store stuff where you buy platinum. So if I'm checking out a new gun, I can go down to weapons and see some of these. A lot of them are master rank locked because I'm a newbie. This is my alt account. But if I were to, example, want to pick up this Akbalto, I can look at it and it's going to prompt me to purchase it with platinum. You see in the top right hand corner it says 225 with the little disc symbol next to it. What is easy to overlook, if you look in the bottom right hand corner, there's an option to buy a blueprint using credits, which is an in-game currency. The Zooja is really good, you're right, Patches. But the blueprint is how you get stuff without paying platinum for it. So that's a little bit confusing. The game doesn't necessarily broadcast that to you. It just kind of throws you in, and of course they want you to buy stuff with platinum. That's how they make their money. This game is free, but almost everything in it can be built using blueprints, one way or another. Another way to access blueprints or to see if something can be built using blueprints is to open up an item, go to this screen that I'm on, and press R1. And it brings you over to the kind of blueprint section, and it shows you what you need to build it. I don't have any credits right now, so I can't even buy that. So we'll have to come back to that. Most weapons that are built from blueprints require a certain amount of resources to build. Yeah, they are consumed on use, of course. And they usually take time as well. So if you build something, it might take 12 hours, 24 hours. Depends on the item. Warframes take much longer. Sigh. This is where I'm sad. But moving back, we talked about leveling, and I kind of breezed past it before. So leveling works weird in Warframe. When you level up with something, it doesn't necessarily get stronger. Weapons have the same base stats no matter what. They don't change at all. Whenever they level up, they don't hit harder, they don't fire faster, anything like that. What it does do is it gives a weapon more of a stat called capacity. And I guess we'll get into what that is later, because it doesn't look like it's going to let me open up the menu, so I'll table that. But basically, leveling is going to give you something called capacity, and we'll revisit that a little bit later. Sorry about that. Thought I'd be getting into it now. Alright, so again, it's kind of pulsing on the map to direct me to this Liberate the Imprisoned Arms Dealer thing, so we'll go do that now.
Dealer is named Darvo. He's being held in the prison block on the other side of this factory complex.
And now we are brought to a very different environment than what we were in before. They don't tell you this until a little bit later, but this is actually a tile set from Ceres, which is a different planet we'll get to a little bit later. This is not as high level as Ceres is, thankfully, but it does have the look of it, and it's very, very cool. It's kind of rainy, industrial sort of thing. It tells us a little bit about the Grenier and kind of what they're about.
Darvo was out for himself, but he is sympathetic toward the Tenno. The Grenier must have found out.
The Ascaris is working, breaking through. I see the shadows of your mind.
Don't let Vor distract you. Focus on the mission.
Truly good advice. Do not let Vor distract you, ever, if you can help it. I'm skipping past some of the treasure chests and stuff that we can open here. I don't know if I particularly need any of this stuff yet.
This is the prison block. If you can avoid
Oh, hey. That's a dude.
easier to get Darvo out.
This area is heavily fortified. Survey the area and proceed with caution. If by proceed with caution you mean get up to that zip wire, then yes, we're on the same page. I don't think I can kill that guy with one hit. I can probably get him though. Shit. Oh, hey. Oh, fuck. Nope. It's all going down. It's all burning down around me. Okay, good. He didn't get to an alarm panel. Back up to the zip line. see. There's a guard in the center platform I kind of want to take out because he's got a good vantage spot on me. I think I'm too far away for him to see me. I'm going to wait for him to turn around and give him the old bow staff. Come on. Well, fine. Let's do things the hard way. Okay, cool. See, I don't see any traps anywhere. I think we're good. Oh, there's a dude in here as well.
Search these cells for Darbo. He has to be here somewhere.
Ah, found him on the first try.
Get my entourage to meet us in orbit once we're clear of this mess.
Extraction is ready. Remember, your success here depends on getting Darbo out of there, alive.
The Lotus must be desperate to send you fetching greedy fools from the corpus.
You didn't see anything. Uh-oh.
Now the Ascaris has burrowed deep enough to give me influence. Shall we see how your shields work?
The Ascaris is letting Vor control your shield. We must figure out how to remove it. Avoid taking damage while I try and block him.
So now my shields are halved. Great. Life is good. Gave Darver my throwing knives so that he can do a little bit of fighting too. Alright, I think we're home free. I got a bunch of more broken stuff. Yay! Maybe I can trade him to some sucker of a Master Rank 21 player. I heard they're into that kind of thing.
I see the operator can enable the mod segment now. Ordis will be delighted to show you how to upgrade your arsenal. May I recommend fire? Operator, I've linked the mod segment to your arsenal now.
Broken Intensify, I know. It's a great get.
Go to the arsenal to see the weapon upgrade options you have.
Okay, so now we're getting back to what I was talking about before. So, whenever something levels up in this game, you get capacity for it. So if we're looking at our Mark 1 Paris here, on the left side it says rank 3.
It is for the operator's own good.
So,
An excellent find, operator. There are hundreds of these mods to locate. If my calculations are correct, there are exactly a lot of possibilities.
very
Install the
true.
mod before we can continue.
So, this is kind of the meat and potatoes of how you level up a character in this game. Gaining levels gives you more capacity, as you can see in the top left hand. It's got 3 right now, which mirrors the rank 3 that it's at. So 1 capacity per level, you can juice that with items and things like that. But anytime you open up an item, a Warframe, anything, primary weapon, secondary weapon, melee weapon, they have this kind of 8-slot arrangement that they have going on. this is how you make your stuff more powerful. So you can see the base stats of the item I'm currently modifying, which is the bow and arrow, the Paris, on the left-hand side of the screen. It's got things like accuracy, how long it takes to charge, critical hit chance, all kind of stock standard video game stuff. These stats do not go up when this thing levels up. The way you make them stronger is by equipping mods, which you find as items. So these little cards that I've been finding at the end of missions, those are your mods. So if I'm looking at this one, Serration gives plus 10% damage. It's pretty weak because it's a starting game thing. It says 2 in the upper right hand. That means it takes 2 capacity to equip, and it will give the ability that's listed on it to the item. So 10% damage, you know, I'll take it. It's something. So I can throw it on here, and now you can see that it is modifying the stats of my particular item. So it gets plus 10% damage, so it's up to, you know, let's see, was that probably 120 before? Now it's about 140. So a step in the right direction.
Thanks for helping me out back there. I'm in your debt, as I often pay my debts. I recognize that device. It's a parasitic restraint. We Corpus use something similar to keep our robotics in line. So, to settle my debt, I give you a very expensive blueprint. For free. Because I like you. And well, a lot of my customers don't live long with these grenade dogs chewing up the system. Here, use your foundry to build a countermeasure device from this blueprint. Good luck.
Vor's Ascaris is burrowing into your Warframe. I'm worried it will affect your mind. I can't lose you, Tenno. We must restore the ship's foundry immediately.
I agree. I need to get building stuff.
The extraction colony will have the foundry technology you need. I am certain they will share it with you. Its location has been added to your navigation console.
So these are the first couple of missions the game ushers you through. It's just kind of unlocking the different functions of your ship.
Tenno, we may have a problem. The colony is unresponsive. Get to the surface so we can see what's going on.
So you might have noticed on that mission that it waited for a second whenever I queued it up, and it said waiting for players. I think that means that this is the point where I can actually do multiplayer again. So if you've got a buddy waiting for you on the other side who's like, hey, let's play some Warframe, this is the first mission where you can team up. Which is why it didn't grab anyone. But most missions in this game have matchmaking.
Any signs of living colonists? You still have a job to do. Find the foundry segment. This was once a prosperous, independent colony, until the Grineer arrived.
The queens fear you, but I will show them. Their love will return when I deliver you to them.
Tenno, are you there? The signal cannot be boosted any further. Hurry, you are running out of time.
Things just getting progressively worse as my house arrest bracelet gets further and further in.
You located the foundry segment. Now pick it up.
Uh-oh. Made him mad now.
The sensors now. You've been detected. Your ship is one step closer to completion. Now,
Ow.
there's one more thing
That
you
guy
need to
came out of
do.
nowhere.
Eliminate
Oh no.
all Grineer and provide
Don't kill
justice
me.
for the colonists.
Need to switch my bow so I can get through that shield of his.
And I will
Oh, unless he puts it down.
Warframe.
That's fine too.
I will purge your doting mother and bring you home.
I just noticed at some point this mission shifted to extermination, so I just have to kill a certain number of fools. That's good. I'm good at doing that. Oh hey, I found a regular not damaged flow. That's good. Time to get the fuck.
Mission complete. Excellent work, Tenno.
The damaged Bane of the Grineer. Everyone's favorite mod. Goes for a high price on the black market.
Your foundry segment is ready for installation, operator. Will the operator build a cephalon to replace me?
Oh, if only I could, Ordis. Alright, so now we have our very own 3D printer in our ship.
Here, the operator will craft many powerful weapons and tools to exact revenge for dismantling me. To expand your arsenal. Oh no. Operator, our component storage has been looted as well. Typical Corpus. Sure, the blueprint is free, but jack up the components. Operator, we will need resources in order to build the countermeasure blueprint.
General, I just received a very explicit message from your ship, Sevlon. If you're looking for resources, why didn't you just say so? I know just the place, but I demand an apology. My mother is no gymnast, and she would never eat those things.
You can go straight to... Operator, I am sorry.
Wow. You may want to get a new ship, Sevlon, when you can afford it. That one seems glitched.
Understatement of the century.
It's good for resources, if you can stand the cold.
Alright. Now, this is the first time that we actually have a couple of options for a mission, so we can kind of branch off in different paths, and it'll actually more or less let us go wherever we want at this point, but we kind of need to get that Ascaris off of our leg, otherwise Skillet Face is going to keep showing up in our heads-up display, so I'm going to keep following the path that the game's telling me to go to. Oh, hey! I got a full squad this time! And they're all dancing on the loading screen. I love it. They also have way cooler ships than mine, because they already painted them. Sweet. Some of these people very clearly are not just starting this game.
Raid the caches and take what you need. This outpost belongs to the Corpus, a secretive but extremely powerful merchant cult.
Okay, after I clear this mission, I'll invite you on the team.
Will fill you in.
Legions of robots, mindless automatons, freaking
We're going to be joined on the stream today by my good friend Garrett, who has selflessly offered to usher my newbie account through the first couple hours of this. Because otherwise I'm probably going to get dead.
Technically this is stealing, but don't let that bother you. The Corpus aren't exactly beacons of moral fortitude either. They sell anything to anyone. Don't get me wrong, I like profits. A lot. But I don't sell my wares to the damn Caribbean. That's unforgivable.
Alarm successfully hacked. The location is returning to normal security levels.
Yeah, if you want to hop on, you are certainly welcome to do so. I don't know how much leveling you'll get, because we're gonna be early. Although I guess y'all could just drag me wherever. Like, it doesn't actually matter once I unlock all the segments and stuff. One of my teammates must have found a cache, because it popped up with unidentified item there. There we go.
You have murdered my sons and disgraced me before my queens.
You've got a funny looking face.
Soon, the Ascaris will complete its task and bring you to me.
Time for extraction, Tara. You are all we came for.
Oh, I'm so slow, I got frozen.
The Ascaris has reached your mind.
Maybe I should speed things up.
Your Lotus Nukes, you will return to me over your own free will.
Oh shit. Okay, we're good. I'm fine. Just gotta wait for the rest of my squad to catch up with me, or for the timer to run out. Here they are. Getting a bunch more broken stuff, but I got some good resources that mission, so that's always a plus. And now I'm invisible. Okay. Oh, there I am. Alright, let's see.
It's over, Tenno. I admire you for your struggle, but now I am part of you.
Keep talking ugly.
Lotus, do something. Help the operator.
We Grineer are millions strong, but with a flaw.
Me or the guy?
Hello.
Rotting, sterile. But now we have you.
Operator, do not abandon me again.
Can you hear me?
To mute
The council
stream audio now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I did this.
Yes, I can hear you.
My life.
Okay. Were you getting,
You did it, and I heard me on the stream. So I'm good.
okay, cool. Just making sure. We had a real debacle with it yesterday.
Our love will
Sure did.
as we feed on your divine blood.
So I apologize. I don't have a crappy primary to take with me. I just have a crappy melee and secondary.
You promised me a crappy primary weapon. I thought you had a
What's a good
Furus.
crappy primary weapon?
Well, it can't be good and crappy at the same time.
Well, I mean, what is like a standard crappy primary to go with my Furus and Fang?
I would say the Furus.
I mean, the Furus is also a secondary.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I lost track of the conversation. Mark 1 Bratton.
I already MR foddered that. I'm not pulling. I think I sold it too.
Okay.
Navigation. Boarding a Grineer ship to access their personnel records will be the fastest way to find Vor.
Operator,
I
what
guess
are
the
you
boar
waiting
will
for?
have to do.
Yeah. Boar's not great. It is a suitable level of crappiness.
Ordis assumes finding Vor implies
Then we are set.
Alright. So again, bringing us up to the world map here,
Hello,
you know,
operator.
Garrett, I'm gonna have to talk your ear off a little bit with some introduction stuff because this is for the kids, you know, and by kids
course.
I mean people who are new to this game. But if you're looking at the world map and you start getting some more options here, the one that has the little cross pattern on it is your next mission objective. So we're gonna go obtain the nav segment. And boy, I don't know. I'm not sure we can handle this mission, especially now
I
that
don't know.
there's
I think it's gonna be too tough.
especially now that there's two of us and one of us is using their real account. So this is hopefully we're up to the challenge.
Yeah, but all my weapons are unranked. I'm even in the playing field. I need to.
That's true.
How am I not in the party anymore?
I don't know. I thought you were.
I'm not. I think
Huh.
that's not me. I think that's someone
Oh,
else.
yeah, that's definitely not you. My bad.
That's fine. I'll just hang out over here.
And it's doing that weird thing where it's like, oh, they're not online. I'm like, I know he's online. I'm talking to him right now. This is something. This is something that's worth mentioning for new players too. I'm not gonna lie, this game does have a certain level of glitchiness to it. It generally doesn't stand in the way too much, but every once in a while you run across something that are like, that's
I got an
not
invite
quite.
now.
It's not quite right.
I probably
There he
shouldn't be
is.
looking at the stream that's like seconds behind real time.
I imagine it's kind of disorienting, isn't it?
A little bit. But now I'm here. Ooh,
Now
man,
he's here.
level 2 to 4? I don't know. I think it's gonna be rough.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, you're full on like healing items, right? I was
There's
actually.
healing items?
There is. Strangely enough, there is.
Well, I can tell you I don't have any.
I would assume, since you didn't know they exist, it'd be weird if you just had them in your inventory. Like, how'd these get here?
I think you get some. I think you get some as a quest reward, to be honest.
You probably do.
So I might actually have some.
So, speaking of healing items and where you get them from, I did promote you all the way up the ladder in our clan right before I started this. So at some point we should go through the clan recruiting process, because that is a very important thing to do whenever you start this game.
Yes, having a clan is so helpful.
Yeah, just have a player base of people that you can multiplayer with, and, you know, gives you access to more equipment. So I guess for people that are new, we should kind of talk about what that's about, which I will as soon as Vor is done talking at me.
Yeah, Vor's kind of just going on about something or another.
Yeah.
Sensors now. You've been detected.
So, there is a function in Warframe called clans. Players can make groups in kind of an in-game interface, and this does all of your generic MMO stuff for grouping up with people. It gives you an inline chat channel, gives you kind of matchmaking options for them and stuff like that, which is all very helpful because this game can be very hard to try and play solo, especially early in the game. You don't want to be trying to do this thing without friends, and even beyond sheer mechanical difficulty, it is confusing as hell. Like, there is a lot about this game that they do not explain. Having a clan can be very helpful to you because you have a group of people that you can ask about stuff. But one of the other benefits of being in a clan is that they have a little home base that you can go into, and they can research weapons in said home base. So you can get access to a lot of weaponry that you wouldn't normally be able to get. And most of it is relatively easy to build.
That's true.
Yeah, it's all useful stuff to have. And it's free. Like, most clans don't charge an intro membership, and if they do, like, fuck those guys. Like, there are tons of clans. Yeah, there are tons of clans where you don't have to pay to enter. So if you find one that they're like, oh, you need 100 plat for sign up, tell them to go screw themselves.
Yeah. Are you leaving right away, or are we doing the secondary objective?
Yeah, let's do the secondary. Might as well.
You want to be a good Tenno today?
I do. This time. Mostly it's just so that we can show people what sabotage missions look like. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
The Ascaris failsafe is attacking your systems. Your shield capacity.
I'm half shielded again.
You're wasting
Oh no. It's such a pain that I'm half shielded.
Oh, I forgot. That's entirely irrelevant for you, isn't it?
Yes.
That's pretty funny. You've halved your shields, and? What's your point?
And it's like, did you give me them just to hack them?
That would be pretty funny. It's like, well, I'd be interested to find out how you did that to begin with.
Destroy the fuel injectors.
Just wrecking up this reactor. There's no way that this wouldn't, like, immediately detonate and kill all of us, right?
Yeah,
like,
you know,
normally.
space magic.
Yeah, true. To answer your question, Patches, he's actually playing Nidus, so that's the other frame that doesn't have any shields. But he has health regen.
I do. It's the best.
Yeah. So that is kind of funny when it's like, oh no, you have half shields. It's like, well, okay. I mean...
I mean, half of 0 is still 0.
Yep. Why is this door locked?
You have to go hack a thing.
Yeah. The hacking panel is on fire too, so I'm like, I need to do it, but it's gonna hurt. And we're out.
Sweet. Oh man, look at all these sweet broken mods.
I know you're excited to get broken fast hands. Everyone's favorite upgrade.
Fast hands is OP, man. Like, you can sell that on the marketplace for some plat.
Maybe if you're selling it to me, like, I don't... You think that there's, like, a weird, trade market for broken mods because you can't actually farm them? Like, someone out there is like, oh man, like, I gotta have that broken mod because
I
it's
certainly
one of a
hope so.
kind. It would be great.
Dominator is charging up. You need to bring Vor down. He thinks he can capture you again. Don't worry. I will be with you. Let us show him how much you have learned.
Alright, let's see. So now that my bow is ranked up a couple more times, you'll see that my capacity is up to 5. So I can throw on some more stuff on here. Let's see. I don't know if I really have anything to do it, so I might level up this. Someone's going to punch me in the face for this, but I might level up that broken serration.
I mean, to get past the first junction, you have to upgrade a mod.
Oh, that's true. So let's do that, just so that people can see how it works. So, you know, people that are watching earlier, they probably saw the amount of benefit that I get from ranking up that mod is pretty minimal. Like 10% damage, that's not much. So you might be thinking, what's the point, Mike? Well, those mods can be leveled up too. So you level up the things that you use to level up. Yes, it's systems upon systems. So if you go over to this little mod station over here, it will actually show the collection of all the mods that you have. And this collection will get out of control really, really fast. There's tons, thousands of mods in this game. There's a running joke amongst me and my friends. You hear about Apple, you know, there's an app for that. Well, there's a mod for that in this game too. Anything you can possibly imagine, from run speed to enemy radar, seeing through walls, increasing your armor, like, you name it, there's a mod that does it. So I'm going to level up Serration because I need that to make my weapon a little bit better.
Do it.
I'm doing it. So if I click this thing, I get a couple options. I can sell it. I can break it down for upgrade currency. I'm going to use this fusion option, which is going to let me rank it up. And I see a button for R1 to give it a plus. And if I do that, it'll show what it's going to cost for me to level it up. So it's going to say 20 of the little orb, which is a currency called Endo. You can see my total Endo in the top right-hand corner at 180. And then 966 credits, which is not a whole lot. If I was going to rank this up all the way, take 140 and 6,000. I think that might actually be worth it, so I'm going to do it. It's going to take most of my endo, but that's going to be a pretty big damage upgrade for my bow.
That's true.
So if we're looking at it, my bow's main damage type is puncture in the bottom right, and it started out at 90, it's at 134, so that's a pretty big jump in power. I'm going to be hitting about 50% harder, which is going to be useful, because we're about to confront Captain Vor.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Everyone's favorite deviant art moderator.
Facing Vor is the only way to rid yourself of him permanently.
I don't know exactly what's happening with the stream. I keep seeing the membership go up and down, like, constantly. Wow, Techno Gaming has 2,000 mods. That's kind of ridiculous, dude. That's awesome.
That's a lot of mods. That's so much endo.
It's a lot. Well, the answer, Patches, is because because Z Chocobo infected us with some kind of mind virus, and now we can't get away from it.
He is vulnerable.
Oh no.
This is our chance. Vor has been stripped of his elite guard. He is vulnerable. Take him out.
Well, I got my electric shield power.
Sweet.
It's one of my faves.
Especially now that it's like, you can move it around and stuff.
Yeah, pick it up, run with it. It's really cool.
Does it do contact damage?
It kinda does. It does if you use shoot your first power through it. So if you
Okay.
lay down the shield and then cast your first power through it, it will cause contact damage and also make it do more bonus damage.
I think this is the first time I've realized this is an elevator instead of just jumping up this.
Instead of just running up the rails.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Instead of being a space ninja, you know.
Yeah. It's like, I don't need your elevator.
Realize your Lotus has sent you to die. Your corpse will serve us well.
So we have our first boss fight here in Captain 4. The boss fights in this game are generally not super challenging. They're just kind of a small set piece along the way. I am going to use my new power because there's dudes everywhere, so throw down one of these guys.
There are a lot of dudes.
Blocks incoming fire. If I shoot through it, my own bullets do extra damage. And my favorite thing about this is that if you throw one down, you can actually pick it up and carry it with you, which is pretty neat. Except I dropped it, because I'm dumb.
Whoops.
It also lasts all of about 5 seconds, because I'm low level.
Oh yeah, you need more of that power damage.
Yeah. I need to equip that, like, damaged continuity that I got.
Okay, well, he's dead.
Okay, cool. I don't think I saw the boss once, and then I got distracted and walked off.
Yeah, it's fine. I just shot him in the face a bunch. You didn't miss much.
In case it's not self-evident to the people watching the stream, Garrett is really over-leveled for where we're at in the game.
Slightly. You know, to be fair, my weapons are not.
That's true. I think anyone would have a really hard time killing you though, because you have health regen. You could probably just stand in the middle of a room and be like, "I'm gonna go make a sandwich."
That's probably true. Like the boar is kind of like halfway decent at this point.
It's actually pretty good. I have a prime boar on my main account, which is really fun.
Ooh, yeah. I'm never gonna see a prime ever, so it's fine.
You might get one just so the universe can prove you wrong.
Uh-huh, sure. Just like how I got Nidus.
I know. You don't have a great track record at this point.
It's true.
Techno, I appreciate the offer, but at this point, we're pretty much only keeping the party open for people from amongst our community. If I do future streams, I will definitely take you up on that offer.
They won't be bothering us anymore. Let's get out of here.
I got a damaged ammo drum, which is a very valuable trade material, but only for one person. Alrighty. All you have to do is sweet talk Chris into potentially joining us.
You've done it, Tenno. Force Ascaris is gone. You are free now. But your work has just begun. The origin system is in chaos, and it needs you, Tenno.
So what is next on the agenda?
Well, we're going to take a little divergence, and I hate to say I got to kick you off my party to do it, but I'm up for my first Master Rank quest.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's fine. I'll find my own things to do.
As soon as the AIs are
Until you
done,
do it in like 30 seconds.
yeah, it's not going to take very long. As soon as the bots are done talking at me, I'll go do that Master Rank quest.
What mission will you do next?
Oh yeah, that's fine. I got some housekeeping to do.
There you go. Garrett had to leave my party temporarily because this is a solo mission that I'm about to do. But there is a system in this game called Mastery Rank. So if you look underneath your profile on the start menu here, see a little bar fill up as you kind of level up items and unlock new sectors in the game and all this stuff. When it hits full, you're allowed to take a Mastery Rank test, and if you pass the test, you get new unlocks like additional slots to carry new weapons. You can kind of get more rewards per day, things like that. Also, a lot of the weapons in the game require a certain Master Rank to use. So earlier when I was looking at the store, you probably saw a bunch of stuff that said Mastery Locked. That's because my Master Rank's not high enough to use them. I leveled my stuff up enough that I can take the first test, so I'm going to do that now. They're typically very short. They take about 5 minutes tops. So this kind of outlines what you get for passing the test here. And you find yourself in this really weird datascape.
Prove yourself with your primary weapon.
Level 5 is pretty good. That's where you start getting some of the higher level weapons and stuff like that. Most of the things in the market are Master Rank 8 or below, so you're starting to get to some of the meat and potatoes of the stuff. As y'all might imagine, the Master Rank 1 test is pretty easy. I don't really need to do too much fanciness with it. They get harder as you get higher ranked, of course.
Excellent. Continue.
And that's that. I'm now Master Rank 1. Woo!
Oh man.
I can use a Lado or something, I don't know.
Isn't the lasso good? A lot
No.
of people like it.
No, I disagree. I don't think it is. I mean,
No, sorry, I got it confused with the Lex.
Okay, yeah, the Lex is actually pretty decent. Yeah, Lato is not good. I'm like, what forum are you looking at that people like the Lato? I would be very confused.
Who knows?
Because the internet hates that gun almost as much as I do. I'm inviting you back.
Okay, I will join in just a second. I might be checking a thing at a relay.
Okay. You're going to see what Brogy Tier's doing, aren't you?
I'm sure as hell I am.
You're going shopping without me, man.
I get with my negative amounts of ducats.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even know what he has this week. That's just what I want to see. Oh, I hate you so much right now. Actually, like I don't know if these are actually any good. There's some mods. It looks like all of the impact weapon mods just at max rank.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, those are pretty handy.
And then the Prova Vando.
Oh yeah, the special edition shot like Count Prod. It's okay. It's decent. Actually, I should probably buy that with my main account, because I think that's one of the ones I didn't rank up all the way, or I never bought, because like I don't think I have it.
Yeah, that's just like all of the impact mods for like 120% impact damage.
Sure. Techno Gaming says he's building the Redeemer, which is a favorite of mine. It's a gunblade, so if you're looking for a third-person shooter that has a gunblade in it, Final Fantasy VIII style, this is the game for you.
Is that a melee weapon or is it a?
Yeah, it's a melee weapon, but it's charge attack. Like when you hold it down, it fires a gun.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think because there's like only 2 of them.
Yes. The Redeemer's the one that has the 2 blades on it and like a shotgun in the middle. The Sarpa is the one that's like a machine pistol with like a weird like curvy blade on the front.
I've been wanting to build one.
Yeah. Redeemer's really good. It can shoot through walls and stuff, and even though it's a gun, it doesn't make any noise for some reason, which is weird.
Interesting. You're gonna have to invite me again because I went back to my ship.
I was wondering. I was like, oh, I guess he doesn't want to hang out with me anymore.
So true. There we go. Did I join?
You did,
yeah.
As far as I know. Okay, cool. Alright, so at this point we're kind of done with the intro missions. I've got the Ascaris off of me, so no more skeleton face showing up on my heads-up display. And the Lotus pretty much asks you, like, what do you want to do next? And at that point, that's pretty much where she's at. Techno asks, do I have a dojo? The answer is yes, on my primary account. So I'm currently using a new one, just so I can do the intro missions here for the stream. I was kind of gearing it towards people that are new to this game. On my main account, I run a clan, we have a dojo and all that good stuff. And it's pretty fun. And that, I mentioned earlier, where you can kind of build a home base. Alright, so let's see. What do we have next? I don't know, Garrett. Do you have a vote for what we do next? Something that hopefully won't get my face smashed in too bad?
I don't know. I mean, you should probably talk about relays and progression and see what you need for that.
Yeah, maybe so. Let's see. I might save relay chat for when I'm MR3 though, because then I can kind of roll it up into a discussion about the syndicates.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know how much there is to do at a relay until that point.
Sorry, I meant.
What's that?
What I mean.
Oh, yes, the relay. Yeah, the other thing that has a name that's very similar to that.
Sorry, a junction is what I meant.
Yes, junctions are important. So I kind of looked at it a little bit earlier in the stream, but if you kind of follow this planet map along the paths that you see, these little white diamonds are the missions that I have completed, which I did all those in the storyline. And you can kind of see leading off of the planet at the top and the bottom here are some dotted lines. These are junctions, so this is how you get from one planet to the next. They are locked to begin with, and you have to meet certain conditions. So right now the Venus junction is kind of blinking at me, which indicates that I can get to it. But I can't unlock it yet. It's still locked for me, and if I mouse over it, it shows the conditions that I need to meet to unlock this junction and get off of this planet, which I want to do, because new worlds mean new resources, etc., etc. I've met some of these conditions.
Want to go about Purist, too.
We're not talking about the Furious right now. So, you know, if I'm looking at this list here, complete quest of Vor's Prize, so that was the one that I just did. Collect 20 mods, got that. It says apply 4 mods to a single Warframe or weapon, which I can't do right now because nothing I have is leveled up enough for that. So we're going to have to table that for a moment. And then it also says, as a last condition, defeat 3 Eximus enemies on Earth, and those are kind of like your hero units, to put it in Diablo terms. So yeah, let's see.
The mobile defense is good for killing those guys.
Yeah, it is. We also have a defense mission, like a regular defense mission here. That might get me some of the levels that I need. So let's
That's true.
do that.
Especially if we push past 5.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Not credit farming. Come on.
No, that's what I did last night instead.
Yeah. I need to get back on the Arbiter's good side so I can start handing out money whips again.
Yeah, you need to hand out a money whip to me.
To everyone, really. It's a good weapon, too. Like, it's a... You'd think it would suck considering it doubles credits from enemies you kill, but it's actually pretty decent, surprisingly.
That's pretty sweet.
Those dual fangs. It makes me cringe even looking at them.
But they're electrified, so they're better.
Yeah, that's true. They
And
look
I have
cool.
a stance mod and everything.
They look cool, don't get me wrong. To the untrained eye, they probably look great. They're not.
Well, you know, I just wanted to have an appropriate weapon for the content we were doing.
That's true. So we're playing a defense mission here, which is a mission type we haven't done. If you look on the kind of left middle part of the screen, you see Warframe Cryopod, and it's got a health meter. That's this guy right here in the middle. And it's exactly what it says on the tin. You just have to try and keep enemies away from it and keep it alive. It regenerates health slowly over time, so as long as it doesn't take too much of a beating right away, you'll be okay. But a lot of it is about crowd control and kind of running interference. I just beat up on a corpse that was pinned to the wall because I thought it was a dude. I was like, ah! Ah! Oh wait, no, it's fine.
Man, I have a question for you about mastery rank, actually.
Okay, shoot.
For like weapons and stuff, do you only get the MR when you max it out, or is it a little bit for each level?
It's only when you hit 30.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like an on-off switch, it's not incremental. It's kind of funny, I framed this up as a, oh, no pun intended, but framed this up as a question and answer stream. That might actually be the first question and answer we did.
Don't worry, I got your back.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I also have enough stacks to do the thing.
Yeah.
As
To
soon
do
as
the
next
thing
wave
that
starts.
terrifies the hell out of everyone that sees it.
Yes. You mean the best thing?
Yes. It was love at first sight when you saw it.
It was. I just needed to have it.
I think Techno is asking about the ether daggers. They are kind of...
I also built those.
Yeah, you built those. I gave you some grief about it. They're not great, but just like anything else in this game, you get master rank points for leveling up to max. So it's worth using at least once to get it to level 30. They do bonus damage versus the infested, like any other weapon whose name starts with ether. It's not really enough to justify using them most of the time, though.
That's a shame, because they look neat.
Yeah, they do. They've got that cool, like, kind of look like glass dagger sort of thing going on. Just anytime Nidus uses powers, it looks like the worst thing.
But it's secretly the best.
Yes, that's true. I think one of my favorite things about the bow and arrow, and like one of the reasons I shoot through walls when it's fully charged a little bit, which is always a lot of fun.
That sounds crazy.
It's like, oh, cover? What cover?
That guy was hiding.
Yeah, there's always that one last dude who's kind of hiding in a corner somewhere.
Sometimes the AI gets wonky.
That's true, they get lost or they get stuck on a rock or something.
Yeah, they don't know where to go.
Or my favorite, when they're like in the ground somewhere. It's like, what are you doing?
Yep. And it's one of the super tough guys who are sitting there bailing him forever.
Yep. You're like, does anyone have...
bosses, Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was like, does anyone have crowd control effects? I'm playing Chroma, I can't do anything about this.
One of the bosses, it's the one where you fight 3 of them.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember its name.
The hyena pack.
Yeah, the hyena. The last one got stuck in the tube, and we had to melee it to death.
Oh, good.
Like, the field was up, and he couldn't leave, so...
That's
awful.
pretty funny. Luckily, they patched that problem recently, where if you just wait long enough, eventually the enemy will die. Like, if they don't... I don't know how they figure that out exactly, but I've had it happen a couple times where someone was, like, stuck in a wall, and eventually they just keel over.
Oh, that seems extremely useful.
Yeah. Well, because people were just getting stuck at the end of missions.
Yeah.
So, Techno asks, what can I get with a Forma? So, a Forma is kind of a weird thing because it's a consumable item and an ingredient in building things. It can be used to increase the power of your frames in a weird way. It can also be used to build a lot of the more powerful weaponry in the game. They'll require 1 or 2 Forma to build. The list is pretty long. I'm not going to go through all of it, but it's probably 10 or 20 different weapons. Something like that.
Yeah, it's fair. But then it's also how you add polarity slots to your weapon?
Yes. Yeah, you basically reset the level on something to give it a higher level cap, effectively. Trying to explain polarity without visual aids would be a real nightmare.
Yes. I don't even know what to call half of them. I'm just like squiggly line and different squiggly line.
Yeah, exactly. It's I don't even know the names, and like this is me we're talking about. And I'm crazy.
That's true. Yeah, you should look at that when we get back to the ship, and then you can talk about reactors.
Yeah, I suppose so. I do have 50 plat on this brand new account. I can get a potato. I guess that's probably how I can
Where
get
did that
those
come from?
four mods equipped. What was that?
That's true. Where did the term potato come from for that?
Oh, because it looks like a potato. That's why.
Oh.
There's nothing smarter going on with that joke than it just kind of looks like a potato.
A little bit.
Like a weird science potato or something.
Potato.
I have to say, this is fairly sedate for a defense mission. Like, I feel like they're taking it easy on us.
Yeah.
We should see if we can go, like,
I did bring the thing.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, we should see if we can go, like, 45 waves on this. Nah, I'm just joking.
I mean...
We
could.
probably could, but I don't know if we want to do one mission for that long while we're on stream.
That's true. There's not a lot of dudes here.
Yep.
I wonder if it's scaling to it being only to 2 of us.
I do know that early game missions have less enemies than later, like specifically anything that's lower than like enemy level 9 enemies. Because the assumption is that, like, no one has Warframe powers yet, so they can't deal with huge crowds of enemies. Yeah. Because I'm not, like, able to shoot chain lightning all the freaking time now, you know? We'll get there, but...
What level is your Warframe?
I am at 6.
Is it 10 for your next power?
I've got 3 of them. I have Electric Shield. I think, yeah, the ultimate unlocks at 10, I believe.
That sounds right.
Yeah. It's pretty terrible until you hit max level, though. Like, it's not good.
That's the speed one, right?
No, the ult is the one that shocks everyone all around him. The speed is his second power. So I guess I should probably talk about what I'm talking about here, because I didn't really get into it. But, like, every Warframe in the game, there's about 35 of them that are unique. A couple variations on a few of them. Every Warframe is essentially one of your playable characters. They all have a basic move set that they share. Like, they can all jump, double jump, bullet jump, all that good stuff, to varying degrees. Some of them are faster than others. Some of them are more durable, things like that. But the main thing that makes them different, aside from their appearance, is that they have different power sets. Everyone gets 4 different abilities that they use. They're all wildly different from each other. My boy Volt here, you know, can shoot lightning as his first power. That's pretty handy, right? Second power is speed, which is the one that he's known for. It gives everyone within a certain range a speed buff, and they get these little trails next to them. It's not very noticeable because I'm low level, but it does actually make you faster for a little while. My third power is the electric shield that y'all saw me use earlier, where I can kind of block incoming fire with that. I can pick it up and shoot through the shield, things of that nature. And my fourth power I don't have yet, but that's usually your ultimate power. They take differing amounts of energy to use. My energy meter's in my bottom right hand corner, and that goes up whenever I pick up those little blue orbs. So to give an example of a contrast, Garrett here is using Nidus, which is kind of a monstrous, kind of like tentacle-based, horrible, I don't even know what to call it, because we haven't gotten to the infested yet, but he is the, for lack of a better term, yeah, pretty much, like, tentacles galore, lots of spiny, gross biological growths, which you use to take out different enemies, and all of his powers are based around that. Like, he can, you know, he can make weird organic spikes grow out of the ground, and he can make a, like, ball of tentacles that pulls all the enemies in, things of that nature.
Is so good.
It's very useful, especially used in conjunction with the first one.
Yes, because the first one, when you get power refunded for every target you hit.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So
yeah.
So you can actually go into the positive if you hit like 5 enemies,
which is pretty funny. So yeah, all the Warframes have really, really different powers. There's pretty much any kind of classic, like, superhero trope you can think of, there's a Warframe to reflect it. You know, I'm playing the electric one, there's a fire one, there's an ice one, there's a monster boy over there, there's a wind one, and then there's some more interesting ones, like for the DBZ fans in the audience, there's a Sangoku Warframe that uses an extensible pole and flies around on clouds and things like that. You know, they get a little bit weird. There's like a healing Warframe, so for those people who like to be the support dude in the squad, that's a thing you can do. There's all kinds of different characters to have. There's a mind control Warframe. That's one of my personal favorites. That one's a lot of fun.
There's a new one coming out soon too, isn't there?
Yes.
The glass one?
Yeah, the glass one, which we still don't know what it's called yet. Concept art looked interesting.
Did you see that new shotgun too? It looks so good.
Yes, I did, and it makes me very happy. So this speaks to one of the things that is really neat about yes, I'll get to that in a second, but that speaks to one of the things that's really cool about this game is that the developers are very open about what they're working on. They typically announce it as they're working on it, and they'll come out with it not too much later. So you kind of get a peek behind the curtains if you pay attention to their live streams and things like that. And they're very interactable people too. Like, you can find them on Twitter, you can talk to them. Like, they're nice folks and responsive to the problems that their game has. A lot of the time, if there's a glitch, it'll get fixed in the very next patch. And they're adding new content all the time. Like, they pretty much add new weapons at least once every couple of weeks. And because of the mod system and how all that works, there's a huge amount of texture and depth to every weapon that they add because of the different mods that you can slap on it. But Techno, who's been sticking with us here, mentioned the dubstep Warframe, which is a reference to probably Octavia, if I had to guess.
That would be my guess.
Yep. Who, speaking of Warframes with weird powers, has a super cool power set. You can actually use an in-game interface to make a little beat, like a song, to go with her, and her powers are based around that music that you make. So, for example, you make this beat, you start playing it during a mission, and if your allies shoot in time with the beat, they get like a damage bonus. Or if they jump in time with the beat, they get a movement speed bonus. Things like that, which is pretty cool. And the song can be pretty much anything. Like, I've seen people do like the Legend of Zelda theme with it, or like Metroid, or, you know, things like that. All the usual, you know, kind of gamer classics.
All the usual suspects.
Yes. I don't actually have an Octavia. I have kind of a vague idea of how all that stuff works, but I don't have first-hand experience.
How do you not have an Octavia yet?
I don't know. I don't really have an excuse. I just don't. I think I did her mission and they got distracted by something else and never went back. It's totally my fault.
Do that the next time you're on your main, because like even I have that quest unlocked.
It's a cool quest. Like, it tells some interesting stuff about the storyline, because, like, in addition to giving you the thing, you also interact with someone who is important to the storyline. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's there. It does things. So Davey comments that it looks like moving around is a lot of fun. That's very true. Like, honestly, a lot of the jumping around that I do is probably not strictly necessary for gameplay, but I kind of feel like doing it anyway.
Jumping feels so good.
Yes, it does, especially when you bullet jump and then you kind of air roll out of it and you slide when you hit the ground and all this stuff. It's very, very cool. The movement tools that you get, that's true. The movement tools that you get are one of the big things that separates this from a lot of the shooters that I have played. And it's not like stuff that's unheard of, it's just executed really well here. Oh, hey, I think I found the sniper. Where's he at? No, you found him.
Oh, yeah, I just killed one.
There must be one left. Someone's throwing grenades. Oh, hey.
I just killed a guy. See, all the way over there.
Alright, that's 10 waves. I think we can probably duck out here, I think.
Do you choose
Alright.
to leave now or continue fighting?
Yeah, I got a decent amount of EXP off of that, and a Neurode, and a bunch of mods that I
let's
probably can't use.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're non-broken ones, though, so that's a plus.
That's true.
There's, like, a vitality in there, you're set.
I only need like 100 million endo to level it up all the way.
Oh, I need so much endo.
Yep, the struggle is real.
Excellent armaments, operator. Please return covered in blood. Safe and sound.
Come on, just wait in like half an hour. I can start using the Penta instead.
Ooh. You'll be a
just get
danger.
us all killed all the time.
Well, I mean, you're only a danger to yourself when you use it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you won't blow me up. You'll blow yourself up. Yeah, I guess I should probably slap a potato on the Volt because I'm gonna have him for a while. I'm not using a potato on a Mark 1 weapon. That'd be a real waste of resources.
God, please do. Please.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not. Anyhow, to clue new listeners in on what we're doing here, you know, there's a bunch of different items that you can buy using either in-game currency or real-world money. And one of the things that is the tastiest morsel that you probably want to spend real-world money on is something called an Orokin reactor. So you can get that in the store. I don't feel like searching through all the menus, so this is a valuable resource. If you click L3, you get a little search menu. I happen to know what the thing's called, luckily, so I can just plug that in. Orokin reactor. But if you know the name of something but you don't know where exactly it is in the store, this is how you can get to it. And it'll bring up anything that matches. So the Orokin reactor is an item which can be got without using real-world money. It's just difficult. I'm going to go ahead and buy one now. This is a good use of your platinum. So if you're in here and you've got a little bit, you threw the devs some cash or you started with some, they have a couple of free starter packs that give you platinum, and you're like, what do I spend my money on? Orokin reactors are a good choice, and I'm about to show you why. So if I go into the upgrade screen for my Warframe here, it plays by the same rules as my weapons. It's got 8 slots plus a couple extra ones, and I have 1 capacity for every level of my Warframe. And I can kind of load it up with different mods to give him extra shields, extra health, make him move faster, you name it. 7's not a lot though, so let's juice this guy up. If I click R3, it's going to give me an option to use that Orokin reactor that I just bought in the upgrade panel here. If you don't have one, it'll prompt you to buy one using platinum. So I'm going to plug him in, and as soon as it catches up, boom, there we go. Now I have 14 capacity. So when you install an Orokin reactor onto a Warframe, it gets 2 capacity per level instead of 1, which significantly increases how much you can equip on your stuff, and consequently how powerful you are. So now I can load them up with all kinds of fun stuff. So I'm going to throw something on here to give me some shields. Maybe this mod that will let me see treasure chests on the map. That's going to be fun. If I press square on a particular mod, it will bring me right back to that upgrade screen that I brought up earlier, so we can kind of make this a little more powerful. I'm going to put all of it into my shields for now, because I need to live. So with that upgraded now, I have something around 400 shields for my Volt. So that's a big upgrade for me, which is going to be very handy. Let's see, I have a little bit of capacity left for one more thing. I guess I'll equip this mod that will make enemies show up on my radar too.
Are you not putting on vitality?
Why would I? Health is meaningless. I'm just kidding.
That's not true.
Don't backseat
Don't say
drive
that.
me just because you're watching the stream on your PC. You would never know what
not?
my choices were otherwise.
It's true.
I had to think about it for a second. I was like, how did he know that oh, wait a minute.
I can just backseat game you.
Don't use that. What do you don't have a Soma Prime? What's wrong with you? Buy it
I don't have
now.
a prime anything because they're myths.
As far as you know, they are myths. Do the bookend to the stream, which will be, the two of us just doing the worst, getting our asses handed to us in a sortie mission, where we show off all of our shinies.
Where I have to bring the comb because I don't have anything better.
You must deliver payloads and defend a number of
Oh,
locations
man.
while I break into the network.
One day I'll maybe get something good.
Do you really not have a prime weapon, at all?
I have the Paris that you gave me,
Okay.
but I feel like that doesn't count because those grow on trees.
Yeah, that's true. We need to rectify that at some point.
Whenever you want a relic farm.
You're like, anytime, buddy. I just
Proceed.
don't wait on my behalf.
Terminal spotted. Upload me and prepare to defend.
Are we doing mobile defense this time?
We
I wasn't
are.
paying attention.
We are indeed.
Talk about picking up and carrying the thing.
No, I didn't. Thank you for reminding me. So, mobile defense is the type of mission that we're doing here. Similar to the defense mission we just did, except you have a football, kind of package you have to carry with you. It starts at the beginning of the mission on your spawn zone, and someone has to pick it up and carry it to the defense points. While you're carrying it, you can only use your melee and your secondary weapon. So whoever has the football is a little bit handicapped in terms of their offensive capability. Everyone else has to keep them alive. But once you drop off the football at a particular point, it works the same as a defense mission. You're just trying to keep the terminal alive.
Yeah,
It runs
usually
on-
just for a time limit.
Right.
and
It
then you
runs.
move on.
Yeah, it doesn't run for infinite waves like the defense mission does, so it's a little bit different. We're actually almost done with this zone right here, which is good because it's dying.
I think I just got my second ever organ shatter mod.
That's really funny. Whoa. Okay. I have the package.
Alright. Let's go.
Here is a terminal. Get me in and get ready to defend. I'm in.
I'm here.
This will take a moment. Marines inbound.
They really darkened Earth up in the last update, didn't they? It's kind of shady in here.
It's just nighttime.
Oh, hey. There's one of my 3 Eximus that I have to kill for my, whatever.
Oh, was it the same one I killed, or did you see a different one?
No, it's the same one you killed, but it counts.
That's
He just has to die somewhere around me. I don't actually need to do anything.
Continue to defend.
Well, don't
Oh.
worry, my boar has your back.
My boar has your back. It's the Garrett promise. Hi, Super Kevin.
Hello.
Welcome to the party. We're just doing some mobile defense.
Kubros. You also owe me a replacement Kubro, as far as I'm concerned.
You're hunting for eggs. Alright, so I've got the package. I'm heading to the 3rd defense point here.
Okay.
If you're done slaughtering dogs, you monster.
No, I was slaughtering the Grenier who was slaughtering them.
Oh, okay. So you're defending the dogs. That makes it
Yeah.
okay then. The dogs that mysteriously hatch from eggs.
Drop me in and
Because that's how dogs work, right?
It's not how mammals work. Not at all. Like, by definition.
These are space mammals.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, good question. Super Kevin asks, what are our favorite Warframes? So, I don't use it as much as I probably should, but I think my favorite frame is Saren, who is your, like, poison, virus-based frame. She has a lot of really cool abilities, including molting her skin like a snake, which is really funny. And it leaves behind a decoy that the enemies shoot at, so that's a pretty fun ability.
Who is my favorite Warframe? I mean,
Saren.
the easy answer is probably just Nidus.
Right. The first power Saren has is my favorite, which it puts spores on enemies, and if you shoot the spores, it spreads like a virus, which is really funny, and it like does damage over time. It's pretty neat. So you said Nidus is probably your favorite.
Yeah. I think my other favorite, even though I don't have it yet, is Titania.
Yeah. Titania is one that catches people's eye a lot. Probably because her ultimate is rad as hell.
It's super rad.
Yeah, so Nidus, we talked about this a little bit earlier, Kevin, but Nidus is the infested Warframe, so he has a lot of, like, tentacle powers and makes creepy stuff happen.
That's what I'm good at. I saw another one of those guys, too, that I killed on my way out.
Hopefully I was close enough. And, Kevin says that his favorites are Mesa and Ash Prime, which are both very good choices. Mesa is probably the highest damage frame in the game, and Ash Prime is not far behind her, to be honest. And he's really good because he's...
Really good.
Yeah, Mesa's very, very powerful. Ash is your...
I got some Mantis engine blueprints.
Nifty. On a way to getting a new ship. Yeah, Ash is fun because he's kind of your combat rogue, so he's got some limited stealth ability, and but he can kind of go toe-to-toe with people better than your Lokis and Ivaras.
Ash with Excalibur is your secret Dark Sector Warframe.
I do what now?
Ash and Excalibur are your Dark Sector Warframe.
Oh, that's true. It definitely kind of looks Dark Sector-y, doesn't it? Especially if you get the skin that's explicitly a quote of Dark Sector.
That's so good.
Yeah, it's really funny. That was like the first thing anyone said to me on Twitter about this game when I started posting screenshots. They're like, man, it really looks like that guy from Dark Sector. I'm like, well, funny story. Let's see how many kills I got counted for that. 2 of 3. So close. Let's keep going.
I figured I only saw 2.
Excavation
Honestly,
or...
if we just run that again, you'll get it.
Well, yeah, but I want to keep unlocking sectors. Let's do the sabotage mission, because that's on the way to Mars Junction. With those redirection upgrades, I'm not getting mowed down constantly, so that's a plus.
That's true.
I'm used to charging directly into the middle of all of the enemies, and I have to kind of check myself, like, no, you are significantly more killable on this profile.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't Volt have a decent amount of shields, though?
Yeah, he does. He's fairly beefy. It's not too bad until we get to later when the infested start doing 1 million toxin damage a second.
Yup.
How are those fangs treating you?
You're so upset about that thing, aren't you?
I really am. Like, can you tell? It's upsetting to me.
My intel suggests there are rich enemy supply.
God, if you ever make a Fang Prime, I will go out of my way to grind that to gift it to you.
No, they already did, dude. Like, it exists.
Oh. Do you have one?
I did. I got it to master rank 30 and then chucked it into the sun where it belongs. Like, the Prime version's not even good, and, like, it's a Prime. Like, it's supposed to be good. It's in the name. It's so annoying.
Oh, that's so good.
I had high hopes, because, like, I like the design of the Fang. Like, I'm down for dual daggers. Like, that's pretty cool. But no, they're really bad. Like, And I'm generally pretty positive on weapons that people aren't positive about. Like, Dragoon? I love the Dragoon. People hate the Dragoon, though. Present
Dragoon's
company
so good.
excluded. Yeah, it's really good.
Like,
They just
I
don't
think
know.
like your next mastery rank, you can just get that. Like that's mastery rank 2 weapon, I think.
That's true, huh?
Poison's creation.
History repeats itself.
Take care when destroying the biocatalyst cartridge. It is highly explosive.
Oh, we talk about caches or anything?
Good work. Now
No, because I never seek them out, but I guess we should. Every once in a while, whenever you do a mission, you'll see in the left with the rest of your objectives, like right now we have Grenier Caches, 0 of 3. This is like a scavenger hunt mechanic, so you can kind of look through all the corners of the map. Like, we're kind of blowing through these things because I'm trying to keep it at a fairly snappy pace, but you can actually explore a lot of these maps and find some kind of Easter eggs and stuff. And you can find some lockers that will have special gear in them as well. And so they'll show up every once in a while in sabotage missions, which is what we're currently doing. This is a fun thing. Have you started doing Titania's mission yet, Garrett?
Nope.
Okay, so I found one of the mission points for Titania earlier today.
I'm so upset right now.
And I, like, found it at random. I'm like, oh, I didn't know you could actually get there before you were doing her quest. That's kind of weird. And it makes a
Are they like
noise.
set locations?
Kind of. It's, like, I don't know, it's hard to describe because, like, you know how it is. Like, the levels aren't 100% procedurally generated. They're
Right.
based on tile sets.
It's like PSO. It's like PSO generation.
That's a
There's
reference
tile
that
sets.
some people will get.
No
I
one's
didn't
gonna get that. I think me and you will get it.
Well, not even me. I didn't play PSO. I mean, I know what you
Oh my
mean.
God.
I know.
Oh,
I know.
We're gonna have to rectify that one time. Like,
God, are
I'm
you gonna
gonna
make
make
me
you
play
install that on your computer.
PSO? Why?
yeah,
I thought we were friends.
because PSO's amazing.
Jesus. All right. So anyway, yeah, it is in a tile set, so you can kind of predict it. Like, when you see it, you'll know it because it'll be something that's out of the ordinary. It also has an audio cue, which is a weird thing. Like, when you get close to it, it makes a noise.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Which I guess is supposed to assist in finding it. Okay, so sabotage
Yes,
missions.
for when I-
Since we haven't done those yet. Sorry to cut you off.
Nope, no problem.
They're usually a little bit more dynamic. Like, they can go one of a couple different ways. Our first objective here was to find a little bomb thing, which y'all saw me blow up. And now we're over here, and we have to defend this poison injector while we hack it, or something like that. I don't know. Not actually paying that much attention.
Hack the planet.
Yep. So sabotage missions are fun because they can kind of go a couple different ways, and they run pretty fast. Like, you can do them in 5 minutes or something.
Yeah, I think I farmed this one a bunch for my Kubro egg.
Yeah, it's good for that. I saw you using that shotgun from like a million miles away. It's not.
What is damage fall off?
What is? How do I shotgun?
Shotguns are just really good for new players because the VOD form are super cheap,
That's true.
Good work. Get to extraction.
and the comb's practically an assault rifle anyway.
Also true. The list of or that's a bad choice of words, but like the description of unlisted properties for the comb is like a mile long. It's pretty funny. It's a bit of a
Such an
black box.
interesting weapon.
It is. In case those of you that are listening to the stream do not have any idea what we're talking about, the takeaway is that there are a lot of guns in this game. Like, a lot.
Yes,
There's
there is a ton.
there's something on the order of 400 something weapons in this game, and what's cool about it is that unlike your Destinies or your Borderlands, these are not guns that are rehashes or procedurally generated or whatever you want to call it. Like, a lot of the weapons are very fundamentally different from each other. So, like, you might have a flamethrower in one hand and then a gunblade in the next, and you could have a thing that fires spears instead of bullets, and, you know, for your melee weapon, you might have a scythe made of fire, for example.
And just subtweet me some more about it.
I know. I'm sorry. I realized after I said it. Yeah, so I'm going to page through my codex here for the people that are on the stream. These are the guns that you can get, and the melee weapons and things like that. You can all look them up in your codex. These are some very wildly different armaments that you can get a hold of, which we probably won't see on my stream today because it takes time to build these things, but they're all available to you. And lest it go without mentioning, every weapon in this game can be acquired without spending money. That is a very big deal. You know, this is a free-to-play game, and it gets a little bit of flack for that, possibly rightfully so, but the game is pretty fair about not locking you out of stuff just because you don't want to spend money. Speaking of which, I should see what kind of weapons I might be able to build.
That's true. But what can you build right now?
Probably nothing useful.
Did you hear that?
You could probably build a Lex.
Maybe. Well, you can just buy Lexes. Like, they're 50 grand credits, but...
buy a Lex, that's right.
Yeah. I want to get a Hind, but I need circuits for it. I don't have circuits.
Oh, what?
A Hind. It's that weird 5-shot burst rifle that's a Grenier build.
I never got a Hind.
It's pretty good. I need one more Neurodin 400 alloy plate, and I can build a Carrack. I might have to revisit this a little bit. Alright, let's see. I think I killed an Eximus in that last mission, so we might be able to do a junction. Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Sorry, Garrett, you're off the team.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go build that gun to make you jealous.
Yeah, you should do that. Fine, make fun of the newbie, why don't you? Meh. Alright, so this is a junction. Now that I've met all of those goals that are listed, I can pop in here and fight a mini-boss, basically, to gain access to the next planet. I love the music in this place. I'm actually going to stop talking for a second so you can hear how creepy it is.
I actually don't have enough neurons for it either.
You're ruining the ambiance.
Sorry.
Alright, so you have to fight a Spectre now, and it's basically another Warframe controlled by an AI. They're pretty tough, so you want to engage them cautiously like I am. This one might not be because it's one of the first ones. I am missing really badly, I apologize. There we go. I got him. But he doesn't die in one hit, so that's a first. I'm gonna run in and finish him off. He parried me, what a bastard. Haha! Charge attack. So once you kill the Spectre, get a lot of EXP for killing him too, and then you can link the junction. You get a little cutscene. Which is very traumatic. And I got a couple rewards for beating him. Gave me some mods, a couple new weapon blueprints, which I probably can't build. And yes, video games.
I mean, you could probably build a Furus.
I might be able to, but the question is, do I want to?
I mean, MR fodder?
Do I want to sink that low? It's fine. The Furus is fine. No.
No, it's not. I mean, I guess it's not the Viper, so I mean.
Ooh.
Also, now thanks to you, I just bought like 1 million blueprints.
Well, why? I didn't do anything. Can't blame me for that.
You were talking about, like, I'm building kunais now for some god-awful reason.
That is a strange direction your life has taken.
I need that MR, man.
That's true. Um,
I probably also need to look through my inventory of weapons to see if I can sell some to stop buying slots every, like, 2 weapons.
Alright, so one of the rewards I got for that junction was a blueprint for something called a Taxon.
Oh,
This,
yes, that's great.
yeah, the Taxon's really good. Yeah, the Taxon is a companion, so you do have pets in this game that you can get. They kind of fall into 2 loose categories, dogs and things that float over your head, and the Taxon is one of the latter. They do different things, just like all of your weapons, they can be equipped with 8 different mods that kind of change their abilities and things like that. They kind of range from like offensive, defensive things that are based around utility. Stealth companions are a thing. You can get some companions that will cloak you, even if you don't have a cloaking warframe, which is pretty cool.
Operator, Ordis wonders, what are you thinking about?
So Mr. Chief says that he can get 20 PSN dollars from Sony Rewards, and that could go to a something something. Is he foreshadowing buying platinum? Who knows? Or maybe just buying a different game. I don't know.
The world may never know.
That's true. Let's see, I wonder if I can do that next quest, the Once Awake one, because I kind of want to get into some infested content.
Man, I wish I could drag you to this Senda invasion right now, because I kind of want this Karak Wraith barrel.
I mean, you could. I would probably die a lot. You can do it. It's up to you to keep me alive, though. That's the problem. Or not.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
it doesn't actually matter if I die or not, really.
I'm sure it'll show up again. I was just looking because I actually have the blueprint for it too.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
But
I
I'd
have
say
one of
Wraith
those.
weapons just kind of go in a cycle.
They do. I mean, they come around pretty often. If there's one that you've got an eye on, you want to leap on it, but they'll be around.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'll build the regular Karak first to see what it's all about.
Right. So, Mr. Chief mentions on the chat something that's a kind of a good point to mention in regards to the free-to-play stuff. He says that he's getting coupons whenever he logs in. So every day that you log into Warframe, you get a prize. Pretty frequently, it will be a coupon for a % off on one of the real money items, quote-unquote, if you buy it. So upwards of 50 or sometimes 75%. So if you don't have a lot of cash, and you're limited on platinum, you still kind of get a break on that stuff, which is neat. Let's see. To Venus. So whenever I select that junction, it kind of brings me to a new planet. So this is going to give us higher level enemies, a couple new mission types, and the scenery is going to be way different as well. And the biggest difference between different planets is they drop different resources. So if I go back to Earth here, I kind of click this open, I can see I can get the resources ferrite, rubido, neurodes, and detonite ampules. If I go back over to Venus, it is alloy plate, polymer bundle, circuits, and field drawn sample, which I recognize if you don't play this game. That's a bunch of gobbledygook. I apologize. But these are all things that you use to build items in the game. So yeah. Let's hop into this exterminate mission.
Ooh, exterminate. Exterminates are fun.
Nice and straightforward, just kill all the dudes.
Shoot all of the dudes.
Okay, so those of y'all that are watching haven't figured it out yet. The primary verb of this game is shoot. Followed on a close second with jump.
Yeah.
Maybe a distant third, build, potentially?
Possibly. Oh man, we got some other people on this mission.
Yeah, we got some randos popping in. So one good thing about this game, even though it is difficult to solo, it is a pretty vibrant community, and matchmaking is robust. So you can kind of stumble along even without a party.
All Corpus threats.
Oh, look, they're like you, except they're an Excalibur.
Yeah, I saw that. He made the same
Did we
choices I
just
did.
start in front of a teamwork door?
Yeah. We sure did.
Like, that took, like, negative amounts of seconds.
I saw a recent patch note that was like limited the number of buddy doors to 2 per mission. I'm like, well, at least they realize it's a problem.
That's pretty good.
Nothing is more obnoxious than when you're flying through the air and just blowing through rooms, and then it's like, okay, well, I have to wait for one of my team members to catch back up to me. Mr. Chief asks the very important question, Tenno, what is love? Which I think might be a reference to a conversation he and I had before. I'm not positive.
What's the answer? Is the answer Space Bomb?
Probably. I don't know. To Twitter. Let's watch a bunch of nerds be creepy towards the
Warframe.
developers. Yeah.
Or we can not do that.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, never engage with the creepers, ever. Oh hey, there's a dropship here.
Sure is.
I really hope they didn't bring an ambulance with them. He asks, is anything he says not a reference to something we've talked about? Which, at this point, would probably be difficult, so fair question.
Probably true. Question, when is next TennoCon? Didn't TennoCon just happen, though, too?
It did. It's going to be almost a year, probably. I'm real upset that I wasn't able to be there in person, but I don't honestly know what else I would do in London.
I mean, London sounds fun.
Yeah, but it's London, Ontario, though, so I don't actually know what's going on over there.
Oh, the Canada one.
It's the other London, that's right.
I mean, Canada sounds fine.
I just need to, like, be somewhere other than the Deep South, probably. Like, that might be good enough. Oh, hey, an Oxium drone that there's no way I can kill.
Oh, I will be over there in a second.
Thank you. There we go.
It's dead. I got 10 Oxium out of it.
Oxium! Oxium is very
Is that
rare.
how you get Oxium?
Yes. You have to kill them before they suicide bomb you.
Oh, okay. It's like, I need a lot for Chroma.
Yeah. Oxium's not easy to get a hold of.
Though I wonder like what like the community is between like PC and like console. I'd be curious to see that graphic.
Well done. Extraction.
Mr. Chief asks, he wants to play Warframe, but his friend is busy streaming Warframe. Well, you should tell your friend that he's a fucking asshole. Because he sounds like a jerk to me.
Why don't you play Warframe? My friend playing Warframe. What do? Did I tell you I tried my PC account the other day with my Steam controller and then got frustrated and gave up?
No, you didn't tell me about that.
Oh,
Everything,
like
everything that I've heard about Steam controller leads me to believe that it would be frustrating.
it is, but like it's not its fault because like you can get used to it, and like DE did like an amazing job of like actually taking the time to make a control set for it.
Right. And it's just
like it's probably
is the hardware just not there?
It's a learning curve.
Yeah. That's the problem, right? It's like, I mean, you probably saw whenever I started this how lost I was, and I'm still using the same controller. I just was not using the same control set. Because it's complicated. Like, the controls in this game there's a lot to it. So even a small change could probably be pretty jarring.
Alright, one second here.
Okay.
Hello?
And he was never heard from again. I should probably equip some mods on some other stuff that I have, not just my primary. Everything I have is broken. I don't think it's really even worth leveling any of this stuff up. I'm just gonna leave it.
If I may say, operator, your chosen Warframe suits you. Ha ha.
Maybe this one. I have so little endo. Still, plus 40% melee damage. It's nothing to sneeze at. For sure.
Hello?
Hello.
I'm back.
I was just walking around my ship. I really
I
like.
might have to leave it a little bit, unfortunately. Maybe you can get that other jerk guy from the chat.
Yeah, I mean his friend kind of left him high and dry, so I don't know. Like he's probably looking for a teammate, I guess.
Yeah, probably. I got like a half an hour more, if that's all right.
That's all good. Good enough for me. I like that this internet rando has hung with us the entire time that we've been not in a mission. He's just along for the ride, you know? Here's a survival mission. We haven't done one of those yet.
We haven't?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, we haven't.
Yeah, we
You're
did
right.
did a defense mission and a mobile defense, but not a survival. It's like a defense mission, only the defense target is you.
That's true. They're pretty fun.
Yep. Although I think our third team member here might be AFK, or maybe he just doesn't want to do a survival mission. So, party broken!
Oh, my penta's done.
Oh my god.
I don't know if I want to take off the boar for it right now. Like, I kind of like the boar. I would consider getting a boar prime.
It depends on how badly you want to blow yourself up, because the Pinto will definitely service that need.
I wonder if I have any things for a boar prime. Relics
Yeah, I don't
is the
know.
word I was looking for.
Yes, relics, those things. I actually don't know if it's still available. Like, I know it exists, but like I don't know if it's on the loot
shit, you might be
table right now.
That might be in the vault.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. I think, no, it's got to be out now, right? Because, like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Would require research.
Yes. Wood Wikipedia. Hello, Lefterus Gravas. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Hello.
Your job is to distract the enemy while a fellow Tenno operator
I love online handles. Pink Turbo Tiger joined your squad.
presence known.
Love it.
Good name.
It is a very good name.
They have just shut down all systems. I'm sending life support capsules your way.
It's been so long since I saw a trophy for Warframe. It freaks me out every time I see it. I'm like, ah! Oh, wait.
Did you get a trophy just now?
I did. Probably for hacking that thing.
Probably.
Thank you.
Camera.
Alright, so survival missions are, this is your just waves of dudes come after you, essentially. The wrinkle for it is that you have a life support meter, seen on the left. When it hits 0, the mission is effectively over. It doesn't end it right away, but you start taking a lot of damage, and more damage as time goes on. You can replenish life support by killing enemies, and they'll drop miniature life support modules. But the big get are these life support kind of nodes. You can activate them to get a big part of your meter back. So it's a wait and see game. Like, you want to save those things for, like, use them as late in the game as you can, but you don't want to overdo it to where you end up accidentally killing everybody.
Yep.
But for the most part, survival missions are about as close to just kill everybody all the time as you can get.
This is kill everybody for as long as you want.
Yeah.
Additional life support has arrived.
Yeah, this is not good. I was trying to like the Boro out.
You're falling in love with the wrong guy.
If I take it into a strike.
It would be really funny to roll up into a sortie with a freaking boar. They'd just be like, what are you doing?
Like, what if I botted it really good?
I don't know if it's enough. I'm not sure. It might be a beyond hope kind of situation.
I refuse to accept that.
Life support on the way.
No! Pink
Oh, no.
Turbo
Pink
Tiger,
Turbo
no!
Tiger.
Anything but that! Oh, I'm getting dead. Oh, I'm getting dead. Okay, we're good.
Get out of getting dead.
Well, I was rezzing him. Oh, now he's gone.
Yeah.
He gave up on life. Or she gave up on life.
They had so much to live for.
Another life support capsule.
Stress was too much to handle. I do so little damage. It's not even funny.
Well, I mean, piercing isn't really good for shields.
That's true. I also have, like, no mods at all.
That's true. I just have point blank on my shotgun, but it's a maxed out point blank,
Right.
which is like 90% extra damage.
Yes. Yeah, the bow is serving me pretty
Almost
well.
double.
I usually pick it. I've done a couple of these kind of like beginning of the game streams. I usually pick the bow because I think it's more interesting than, you know, a stock standard assault rifle. But I also think it's pretty good as a starting weapon because it just does a lot of damage.
Get ready.
Yeah, like you can get away without mods on it for longer.
Right.
You are running out of time.
Plus the ragdoll physics, as aforementioned,
Yes.
are wonderful. What is going on down here?
I've delivered another life support capsule.
It's a drone party.
Apparently so.
I think I'm just going to stay on the upper deck and kind of rain hell down on these guys. Seems to be working out pretty well for me.
What the hell is this Synth-Lula?
The raid is off to
It's something you use on rescue targets to, like, give them buffs.
consider extraction.
Oh.
Doesn't come into play very much. as evidenced by the fact that you still don't know what it is. Like, if you survive this long without it.
That's true. You doing okay over there? You have some guys over there.
I do. Oh, we dropped the ball. Shoot.
Oh. My.
Run for the exit! We let the life support meter run out. Oh god.
We sure did.
I'm used to killing things much faster than that. I wasn't watching the meter.
I'm going to die.
You'll be fine.
My health regen is just like at odds with the health loss.
Yeah, it's like I'm watching it. It's like
no health.
120, 120, 1. Okay, well we still passed the mission, so
that's true.
I'll call that
North Wind.
I'll call that a qualified success. Got a bunch of circuits too. Getting a little bit closer to that hind. I guess I'll go buy the blueprint now.
There you go.
Get it all warmed up. Oh wait, it requires 5 neurodes. I'm not doing that.
I think it was the Karak that you were looking at.
It was. I was looking at both of them.
That's true.
Grakata. Neurodes again.
That was so good.
I think I might go for the Grakata. I'll follow my own advice. Yeah, but what? You mentioned Dragoon.
The Grakata is kind of rough without mods, though.
That's probably true.
I also made a mistake and got rid of my level 30 Grakata when I made the twin Grakatas.
Whoops. Rip.
So oh no, I'll have to level another Grakata at some point.
Yeah, that's no fun. Oh, I can just straight up buy a Strun. Like, I don't need to build it. I think I might do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's do
The
that.
Strun's good.
Yeah.
Like, when I start seeing Strun Wraith parts around, I'm totally gonna get one.
You get jazzed.
A lot of people don't like the reload for it, but I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not like the Sobek. The reload on that is pretty egregious, I think. I don't like the
really that
Sobek.
long?
It's bad. I think it's like 4 seconds by default.
So let's see. The bore is only like 2.7.
Yeah, that's not as bad.
Oh my god, it is 4. What the fuck?
You actually have to build
and they hold the same amount.
Yep. It's you have to build a new shotgun to reload it. It's actually just a one and done.
Oh my god! Like, do I even have the shotgun reload speed one? I don't know what mod that's called.
Tactical pump, I think, is what it's called.
Yeah, I have tactical pump, so I guess it'll be okay. But like, that's a slot that's gonna take.
Yeah. Which is why people hate on shotguns. Oh, I have to burn slots on reload speed. Shut up. Use a gun
like
other
the
than
only
the
shotgun.
Soma Prime.
Ooh, doing a defense mission.
Position has been compromised.
We are. I wanted to pop in and say hello to our old friends, the Infested, in case someone who's watching has not seen them, because they're something.
They are my brethren.
I was gonna say, well, they've kind of seen the Infested. You speak their language, as it were.
We're buds. Kind of.
It's like that, the creepy uncle where it's like, you know, he's family, but I don't necessarily agree with everything that he does. He keeps eating flesh, and that's not okay.
I mean, define okay. The reload for the boar is really cool.
Yeah.
I like watching it.
Oh yeah, because it has that weird, like, it's like a giant sewing machine spindle that you just slap a new one on there.
I dig it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Strun is working pretty well for me, and I have absolutely 0 mods for it.
Yeah, the Strun's really good, though. Both shotguns are really good in this game, surprise.
Yeah. Well, don't let the forums hear you say that. They're gonna come after you.
What? The forums have a total hard-on for, like, the Tigress and the Heck.
That's true. They have a weird relationship with shotguns. They hate most of them. Other than those two.
You're the Heck or the Tigress.
And then life is good. So they only like shotguns that have really small clip sizes, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, well, the Tigress has 2, the Heck has 4. The Syndicate Heck has 8, which is nice.
Yes.
For when I never get that. Because I don't know how factions work.
The faction thing gets overlooked very easily in this game. I know some people that have been playing it for like 100 hours, and they're like, what's a faction? Or like, what's a syndicate? I'm just like, oh my. Patches makes a great point. He says, if you need to pull the trigger with the Heck more than once, you're doing it wrong. Which is probably true, because that thing is hell on earth. In a barrel.
Isn't like the drop off damage on it too like absurd? Isn't it just a sniper rifle in disguise?
Uh-huh. It is. You can shoot people from shockingly far away with that shotgun. And the Syndicate one's worse. Like, I frequently use it as a long range weapon. It's great. White Dragon 19 joined our squad.
Neat.
Is he part of the same, like, Sentai squad as Pink Turbo Tiger or whatever? Like,
I can only hope.
Like, I have to imagine, like, we're gonna find, like, Orange, you know, Revenge Badger or something later.
Revenge Badger.
I'm just putting words together at this point. Holy cow, did you see that guy? What on earth is he... Oh, he's playing... He's got some fun stuff on him. He's playing...
You're all gonna question what he's doing here.
Yeah. That is a good question. He's kind of slumming it, isn't it? Because, like, I know why you're here, but, like, I don't know why he's here.
I mean, like, I don't think it's necessarily a good mission for farming anything.
I don't know. Maybe he just needs polymer bundles real bad. I always love that kind of stuff when you see like a Master Rank 25 person and they're like on Earth and you're like, what are you doing?
They're like, they need resources.
Yeah.
Isn't like the most efficient resources doing like survival though?
Yes and no. Like, survival works if everyone on your squad is in on the joke. If everyone kind of scatters to the 7 wins, it's less effective because you won't find all the resources. But if you can talk to your squad mates and say like, hey, we're gonna hang out in this one room for a little while, then it works really well.
Gotcha.
Defense missions tend to work pretty well for farming because everyone's in the same area, so you're all getting EXP off of each other, all the item drops are in the same area, all that good stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, that guy's playing Harrow, which I don't even have a Harrow. I want a Harrow. He's got some cool abilities.
Oh, Harrow's the new one, right? With the chains?
Yes. He is
How do you even get Harrow right now?
He has a quest. You have to do the War Within first, which you've done, so you should be able to do it.
I have done that. There was just that weekend where, like, it was pre-War Within and then after War Within.
And my life was never the same. That quest
like,
is hard to talk about.
Yeah, it's like, I want to just be like, everybody should play Warframe until they do that quest, but I realize that's asking a lot.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Is it like the storyline stuff they have is pretty neat, but it's buried so fucking far into the game that, like, I can't reasonably ask anyone to look at it, you know?
That's true. Twin Humanities needs to get that far, though.
Well, that's exactly right. And they will. They've already said that they're like, oh, it's not going to stop. Like, you want us to stop talking about Warframe? Well, too bad, because we're doing it anyway.
Good.
Yeah. Needs more media attention. Game's super fun. And it is super free.
I could probably do another 5 and then I gotta run.
Okay.
Continue to defend.
Fair enough.
You will be rewarded for your bravery.
He's just swinging his sensor around. I don't know if that actually does something, or if, like, he's just showing off.
I think it could be both. Who knows?
Yeah.
Let me just be bad and use this shotgun at long range. Because that's how shotguns work.
It broke my shields, but thankfully, old boy has put out a shield drone now. So we're all good.
That's good.
It's taking me like a full clip to kill anything at this point. It's real bad.
Yeah, you guys are pretty rough right now. I feel like I'm shooting these guys, they're not taking damage. I could be shooting the wrong dudes. I like that shield drone, because then I now have shields all of a sudden.
Oh, that's funny. I never noticed that. Nidus is like, what is this strange sensation?
What is this thing that takes damage before my health?
I'm not in constant agony from having all of my nerve endings exposed all the time. This is a new sensation. Screw it, I'm switching to melee.
Go for it. Maybe I'll also switch to melee, even though it's the worst idea. I am almost out of shotgun though, so I might have to. Or the ferrets, I guess. Oh, this just feels bad.
Yeah, it's like, it's got the worst, like, gun feeling of anything in this game, I think, the Furus.
Like, it just sounds like a staple gun.
And it feels like a staple gun. It's bad. It's bad and you should feel bad.
Wow, like, I'm gonna have to level this for MR fodder. This is awful.
Do you see why I was so down on this before? Like, I don't even like knowing that that gun exists. It makes me upset.
Like, I guess I'll use the thing instead.
It's like lesser of two evils.
I mean, only because melee is, like, good, quote unquote.
Right. Quote unquote. Like how you have to qualify it.
This actually isn't too bad meleeing things. Like, I have like the spinning stance, so it's kind of neat.
Oh, okay. Get to do cool knife things.
Yeah, cool knife things. Like, it's no Galantine, but it'll be
Yeah, but what is, really?
the Galantine Prime.
Yeah. Sometimes you just find your forever sword. I don't know what that thing is doing. Please stop. We've got a vote for the Orthos Prime in the chat. I don't mean to make this a battle, but I really don't like the Orthos Prime. I know I'm a bad person, but I don't like it.
I don't even know what the Orthos Prime is.
It's the pole arm that looks like it has a couple of shovels taped to either end. You know.
Oh.
The
Okay.
gardening implement of doom.
Okay,
Patches-
I'm like prime weapons. I'm like, what are those? What are these myths I hear about?
Patches is probably furiously typing comments right now to tell me how wrong I am about not liking the Orthos Prime.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, the Gorgon's just so good, though.
And now you're just trying to make people mad.
I know.
That Harrow player just threw out a bunch of chains that covered a portion of the map, and I don't know what's going on with that at all.
I don't know. It looks cool, though.
Yeah,
You should get one.
I should. I did the quest, I just have to go farm the rest of his parts. I have no idea where, though.
That's what the wiki's for.
True. Yeah, that's a general good piece of advice for anybody who's watching this and hasn't played the game. Use the Wikipedia. Like, please. I beg you. Unless you know me in real life, and then you can just ask me. It's faster.
Yes. Use the wiki or the real life wiki, known as Michael.
What was it, the comment? It's like, Warframe's great as long as you know Mike. It's actually a back-of-the-box
Collector's
feature.
Editions of Warframe comes with a copy of Mike.
I really gotta get with Digital Extremes. I'm pretty sure they need to be paying me royalties for that. If they're making clones of me and giving them out with their free-to-play game. Here's one thing, and I'm probably dooming myself by saying this, but I have died shockingly little in this stream. I thought for sure I was going to get torn limb from limb every 2 seconds with this new character.
True.
Ow.
Well, I mean, you got that redirection mod.
Yeah. I said that, and then I got kicked off a cliff immediately afterwards. Oh, hey.
Still not dead.
I just turned left and
There's
your
a lot of just lights going on.
Yep. I turned to the left and your horrible tentacle mass was just writhing out the corner of my camera. It's like, ugh. I know it's on my side technically, but it still gives me the heebs.
Oh, come on, I just want to be friends.
Sorry, White Dragon 19.
Wait, Dragon 19 is honest.
I think he'll be fine without us, probably.
Probably. Ooh, 110 endo. It's not bad.
Yep.
Well, now it is time for me to depart.
For sure, and I think time has more or less run out for me as well. I'm going to go play on my real account where I can actually do damage and things. Thank everybody for joining us on this and kind of checking it out. If you have any other questions about Warframe, go find me on Twitter. It's Michael_Pren. And yeah, give me a holler. We'll do more of these streams probably further down the road. I don't know if it'll be on this account or my main, but one way or the other. We will continue because I want people to see this game. Everybody, have a good night.
Yeah, have a good one. Thanks for having me.
Sure thing. Thanks for being on. I'll talk to you later.
I will talk to you later.
Good night, everybody.